I say to the guy in Butt Crack, Kansas, don't leave. Make a cool movie in Butt Crack, Kansas. I mean, who cares?
Put Butt Crack on the map.
Yeah. Put yourself in Butt Crack. Get off your butt crack.
Hey, Talking Strange and Den of Geek fans, Aaron Sagers here at San Diego Comic-Con in our Rompus Room set. And
you didn't have to say it was a set. You shouldn't have said anything.
Just the Rompus Room.
Yeah, they would have thought you were actually in a room, like in Philadelphia.
Room. Like, that's true.
Yeah.
Well, all right, well, it's done now.
You just gave it away. That's all right.
I know. I killed the magic. I'm joined by the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Bruce Campbell. Bruce, good to see you, sir.
Thank you. A pleasure to see you as well.
I know. It has been a while.
I got to complain, though. Hold on.
Oh, what's happening?
Yeah, I have a little bit of a beef with your shirt.
Well, look.
Hold on.
This is sponsored by our folks.
I don't care. RSVLTS San Diego.
Roosevelt's.
You're wearing a Roosevelt shirt?
They have decked me out for this.
Great job, Roosevelt's,
yes.
Great job, Roosevelt shirts. Note to Roosevelt's designers, carry the pattern across the buttons and the pockets.
So, okay, but I love
Your
that.
patterns are very disturbed.
So I do love
They need to be
classic,
undisturbed.
I love classic Aloha shirts because the pocket matches the pattern underneath and it matches. So I do know what you're talking about.
Yes, Tommy Bahama does that.
However,
it's also why they're $125 a shirt.
However, thank you, Roosevelt's.
Great shirt.
Nice
shirt. Try.
We're here to talk about you, not Roosevelt's.
What can we say about your hat next?
I know. Hey, watch the hat. Be nice about the hat. You've done a million Comic-Cons. You have been a stalwart in the con scene. Just overall, your perspective, state of the con nation, how do you feel like it's changed throughout the years?
Con nation is strong. It's strong. The people are back. They're back at this one. It's nice to see the Savages in large hordes again, because that's what drives it. And I can't wait to go to these secondary cons, because they're doing very well too. Because people were held back years, and I thought, geez, I don't know if these are coming back, but it just shows you how much people like physical interaction. They might see Shatner from a football field away, but doggone it, that's Shatner.
Do you still feel like there is, because on the San Diego front, you've promoted for, I'm just talking about my interviews with you. There was Bubba Hotep was here years ago.
Yeah.
Burn Notice. You've been here for so many different projects. Ash vs. Evil Dead. Do you still think there is impact with the con media, or is it so noisy out there in the landscape that it's hard to break through?
No, I think you must attend these big ones if you're launching a show, because you don't go here. I don't go to these conventions to meet fans.
Right.
They have a brick wall between us and the fans, which is not great, but it's so big you have to do that. Hall H, you're not going to set up photo ops in Hall H. It's just not going to happen. But I think that's what's great about it is people can, now you can see contemporary actors. Before it was you go meet, Lou Ferrigno from The Hulk. But now you're meeting actors that are in shows right now, and that's what's cool. And so you don't come here to meet the fans necessarily, but the outlets like you are here. So if you launch a show, guys like me are coming through every single one of these outfits, because this is where all the journalists are coming for 4 days. So you have to come here. Anyone who has any brains. So thankfully, Hysteria is here in force to talk about.
Okay. That was your prompt, and so we're running with that.
Yeah.
So talk to me about Hysteria, because I don't know much about it.
You're going to know more now.
You're going to tease me on this.
I'm going to ride the fine line of getting yelled at.
Okay.
Because I've known you for a long time.
Yeah.
You're semi-trustworthy as a journalist.
Semi.
Small town Michigan, late 80s. I'm the chief of police, Chief Dandridge. And crazy shit is happening in this really small, innocent town. Like satanic shit.
Okay.
And nobody knows what's happening, and we may or may not solve the problem.
Drama comedy, where does it sit?
It's horror-y.
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 How does it, if you can say, how does it veer from sort of the Ash vs. Evil Dead or the other kind of
Ash
horror
vs.
and
Evil Dead
comedy?
is unrated television. This is like R-rated television. This is not that. It's not a splatter fest. This is a mind fuck. Like to the point where I couldn't even give the plot away because there's so many twists and turns of who's in, who's out. They've got there's a punk band that's a heavy metal band in town. Are they linked to these strange happenings in town? It's just a really great cast. And what attracted me, I ask a lot of questions when it's horror these days. And I'm hesitant to even read something if it's horror these days. So they go, read it. And I read it, and the words are what attracted me. I thought that the writing was exceptionally good, like surprisingly good. And that's the key. Because if you have good words, I feel like you can get real actors. And that the audience will invest in those characters because you've given the actor a great part. And if you give an actor a great part, they might actually not suck in the show. And then people might actually like that character because you've rounded them out and made him into a real character. I actually like the character that they created for my chief. Like, I would like to go have a beer with that guy.
Well, who is this guy? I mean, as far as...
He's a classic small-town chief of police.
How does it fit differently within the other roles that you've done?
Well, those are way more manic. You know, this guy's like an adult.
Okay.
And he might be the Marilyn of the Manson family. You know, crazy shit's going on around him. So you need to have someone who's kind of anchoring this whole thing.
Okay.
And plus, I'm like the oldest guy in the whole set. So it's me and surrounded by a bunch of young actors.
Is this Michigan, the Michigan you came from? Are we talking about sort of
Happy
Royal
Hollow,
Oak area?
Michigan.
Okay.
Yeah, no, this is like small town Michigan.
Okay.
I had a little place. My family had a place in Gladwin, Michigan. And we always do the hand.
Oh, yeah.
So Gladwin was like here, sort of in the middle. I don't know where Happy Hollow is. We'd have to pick it.
To talk a little bit about your career and how this fits in with everything, you know, you've had obviously a wide range of roles. What are some of the ones that you look back on and you say, okay, that was the most fun to do, I got a kick out of that, versus the ones that you're like, okay, that was actor boy Bruce. That was like me really kind of stretching.
You have to write it. I just wrote myself a big fat part. I just made a movie called Ernie and Emma, a guy my age, former pear salesman. He's the pear guy. Mm-hmm. License plate says pear guy. And he's in this fictitious town of Pear Valley, Oregon, and his wife dies and gives him a big, long to-do list of what to do with her ashes. So it's a bittersweet tale. Mm-hmm. And so whenever I hear an actor complaining about they don't get good parts, I'm like, are your hands broken? Why don't you click your way to a good part? So that's exactly what I did. I wrote myself a big, fat-ass part, like starring from A to Z. And you don't get that. I've been in Hallmark movies, right? It's nice, you do your weepy little scene, Peter Gallagher, It's all very lovely and wonderful. But it's not the meat that I want occasionally. And no one's going to write the shit that I want to write for myself, because they'll either write stuff that they think people want to hear me say, or an Ash reference here or there. I mean, there's not a drop of blood in this whole movie. This is a whole new ballgame, and I'm really excited. And the only way you can do it is put up your own money and make your own damn movie. So I'm excited.
So you wrote the script. Where is it in development right now?
Just finished. We just wrapped.
What were some things that you included in this role that you have not been able to do? And you're like,
adult performances, adult dialogue, adult sensibilities, adult failures, the guy's an adult. When I saw the dailies of this movie, I went, oh shit, my leading guy is 66 years old. I had to reconcile that. Thankfully, it's a story for a 66-year-old.
Yeah.
It's not me with boot black in my hair trying to, bed some 30-year-old lovely. Mm-hmm. So it's nice to play an age-appropriate role.
Does it scare you at all?
Nothing scares me except love. No. Yeah, but you gotta lean into yourself. You have to trust your own abilities. And if it was something that was haunting me, write it and do it. I'm thankful to my wife. She's my producing partner on it. She said, "Yeah, let's go make it."
Something that I've always kind of observed and really respected about you is that I feel like you're this anomaly in this industry or a rarity insofar as you look at actors that become movie stars and we know their name and they're a household name. And it's because there's certain performances that got them there and then we learned their name as a result.
Sure.
Whereas Bruce Campbell is
We don't know
brand.
his name. We've never known his name.
You are a brand. You are
That's your
known
word, though.
more for you than your roles. No, but seriously.
Oh, I see.
You know, aside from the parts, and sometimes in spite of the parts, you're Bruce Campbell. And I feel like that is actually kind of a rarity in this industry. People know you as Bruce even more so than as Ash or Sam.
Well, I'm okay with that.
Well, I know, but was that, and that is a great thing. That is a compliment. Yeah. Was there any kind of strategy involved in that? Or was it, I got to work, I got to act, I got to do cons, I'm going to be me, and then it just sort of worked out? I come from
the great city of Detroit. A lot of auto workers, before all the auto business left Detroit, in the auto industry, they tried to keep you from getting bored. So they instituted job rotation. So you're doing tires one week, then you're doing fenders the next week, you're doing windshields the next week, to keep you from going insane. For me, I think it was the same principle. Let's try and do something over here, okay? Go back and make another horror movie. Sure, conventions are going crazy. What's up with that? Yeah. So to me, it was just half of it's out of curiosity. Let's make a Hallmark movie. Haven't done one of those. Let's make a movie in France. Haven't done one of those. So a lot of it's that.
Yeah.
Haven't done one of those type deals.
And it just sort of worked out then.
You can't, it's really hard to control your career. Like if some people are pretty good at it. Some people are great at being a movie star, more so than even an actor. They're just great at being a movie star. Like Tom Cruise is the best movie star on the planet. He was actually good, and I'm not saying this like I'm surprised, in his latest Top Gun business.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
They had a close-up of him, and I'm just going to talk actor for a second.
Please.
They had a close-up of him sitting in the guy's office, and the guy gave this whole speech, and all Tom Cruise had to do was react. But that guy knows that camera was here. They call it a cruncher. Mm-hmm. So it's here. You're not even seeing the full face. It's here, and he knows it. And so every little tick and every little blink and every little gulp and every little tightening of the neck, he knows how to play that like crazy. He was actually great in that movie. He's perfect in that movie. And that movie actually deserved to make $1 billion because they hit every point that they had to hit. It was this guy's son who did this and led to this, and that's a good script. Most of those big action movies have the stupidest scripts. This one was pretty good. Go Tom.
Well, and I know you're like an old school fan too, like Valentino, Errol Flynn. Like
I like the old guys.
Yeah, and
I do.
But I love that, and Maverick was great. Like, what's the other stuff the newer stuff that you're watching? Where
it's
you're
all
like,
TV.
That's frickin' it. That is
it's
where
all
the work is.
It's all on television.
What? Like, what have you seen where like that is a performance?
Like The Crown.
That is acting.
Like The Crown.
Yeah.
I go, that's not only a movie every week, that's like a really high budget, well-crafted movie every week. I just feel like all the good work is in TV now.
Yeah.
You know, the movies are just guys in capes, guys in spandex running around. And then all the other stuff is on TV, you know, like Hysteria.
Yeah. This and this series, Hysteria, like you're in it for TV. Like how long you want to be doing this kind of gig? Like, do you want to stay in the TV world for a while?
I want to stay wherever it's fun and good. Yeah. It's that simple. And TV is where it's kind of at. I started out doing Knots Landing. That was my first TV job. You had 3 shadows on both sides of everybody's face. You would do a take, and Michelle Lee, the star, would look at the cameraman, Benny, and go, Benny, good? Not the director, not the producer or the writer. And Benny would go, yep, he's not going to say no. Yep. That was good. And the AD, without checking with anybody else, would go, moving on. And as an actor, I'm like, oh my God, that's it? One take? Because they were all out the door. That was my start in television. I didn't do TV for 5 years after that. I had just come from Evil Dead 2 with Sam Raimi, 15, 20 takes. You know, you're sweating your ass off. And I go into Knots Landing, and the makeup guy goes, if I pluck between your eyebrows, you'll look much more intelligent. I mean, I'm like, these are the professionals? The people, everyone in this room who doesn't give a shit, this is, I'm supposed to aspire to be here? Oh my God, it was so depressing.
And then now
TV, you can't, I mean, look, real actors never touched TV until the last 5-10 years, until Mad Men started.
It was like The Sopranos, Mad Men
That was
effect.
HBO.
HBO.
It was like a movie.
Yeah.
You know, that didn't even count. That wasn't even TV. You know, it was like event television.
Yeah.
You know, but TV is just, I think it's just, for some reason, the pendulum swung. And now, like, I'm sitting on location for Hysteria going, why am I here so long? Hercules episodes were 8 days. These are not 8 days anymore, these shows, they shoot them like a frickin' feature film. They really do. And I think it's because all the other shows look really good too.
Yeah.
No one's slamming TV out anymore. No one's banging it out. It just doesn't happen anymore.
Well, and it sounds like you're having fun. You're able to flex. You're able to like to work.
Yeah, and as long as good stuff comes along, I'll do it. And if not, I'll just keep writing it.
Yeah.
You know, there's no excuse not to. This industry is so wild and wacky. You can go out and buy one of these cameras and buy some software. You can make your own damn movie. You know, it's just a whole different ballgame now.
I'm going to wind down, but on that, like...
Yeah, you better wind down. You need to change your shirt.
Roosevelt's.
Yes.
You have survived. You've seen the peaks and valleys of this industry, and you have like just constantly been able to survive. Someone coming up now, it's a whole different ball game. There is TV, but there's such a segmentation of quote unquote content.
Yeah.
I know people.
But guess what?
What would you say to that person?
I would say you're a lucky son of a bitch, is what I would say. You can get on television in an hour. Get your own YouTube channel, all the TikTok crap. I mean, we didn't have any of that shit. We had Super 8. We go to Kmart, buy these little cartridges, 50-foot cartridges, things out, 2 minutes. You're done. You go buy another cartridge. Absurd. It was difficult, awkward, and strange. And then when you're done, who the hell are you going to show a Super 8 movie to? Nobody.
Right.
Your friends at parties in high school. That's who you're going to show them to. I mean, it's too easy now. It used to be really hard to make a movie, and now it's easy. So I say to the guy in Butt Crack, Kansas, don't leave. Stay there.
Yeah, you don't have to go to LA. You don't have to go to New York.
Make a cool movie.
You don't have to go to Atlanta. You can
make a cool movie in Butt Crack, Kansas. I mean, who cares? You go to the store, buy a camera, get the editing software.
Put Butt Crack on the map.
Yeah. Put yourself in Butt Crack. Get off your butt crack.
I wanted to ask you this for a while, but Hysteria, it sounds like there's a lot of weird shit going on in this show, some kind of potentially occulty, satanic stuff going on. I need to know, Bruce Campbell, ghost story of the weird, encounters with high strangeness, the strange and unusual. Tell me your experience.
I've seen a UFO.
Tell me about it.
Yeah, and I'm pretty convinced.
This was in Oregon?
This is in Oregon. I had a place up on a hill, and the view was all government land. Nobody lives there. It was all BLM, Bureau of Land Management and Forest Service, right? It's a Lord of the Rings view at night. No lights on the mountainside. So I'm doing a phoner, blah, 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 doing an interview, and behind the mountain comes this warbly white light, like it's got the flame bar thing. It's just plain white light, warbly, and it's slowly moving toward me. Now, I know every jet pattern. The jet's flying to LA over me. I know the height. I know the direction, the contrails.
You know this sky.
I know
this
the sky,
territory.
and I know what's in my sky. And this was like a helicopter. It was moving at the speed of a helicopter. Can't hear anything. So as I'm watching and talking, behind me is the foyer of the house, the entrance of the house. It has a French slider on one side and a French slider on the other side, and they each have a light over the door. And as I'm looking at this thing, one of the lights behind me goes bzzz, goes down to half. and then back up, and then I turn to look at it, and when I look at it, the other light goes bzzz down to half, and then back up. And I turn back like, what the fuck? The thing's gone. If your whole house goes out, the whole house is out. Power's out.
Yeah.
There's no, and if you have a brownout, the same thing, the whole house goes and then back up. No single lights ever do that individually. That was a fucking probe going, oh, look at the little incandescent. Oh, he's looking, isn't that cute? Okay, let's get out of here. There's no way that could have cleared my airspace that quickly.
What do you think? What do you think it was?
Probe.
From?
Somewhere else, maybe. It was over a big, empty area. They probably had pretty good impunity, kind of looking around. And saw my little house in the middle of nowhere, did the little zoomy zoom. They're like, shit, that guy's doing a phoner. Let's fuck with that guy. I felt fucked with. I was a little offended. But I thought if they can do that shit, they probably could have vaporized me on my balcony. Mm-hmm. So thanks.
Yeah.
They were curious.
It poses the question, like, what are they up to? What do they want? Are they just looking at us like we're fish in the aquarium and they're just tapping the glass? Or?
100% is what that was. Oh, look. Oh, yeah.
Just to mess around with you.
Yep.
I love it.
They were just guys on sentry posts being bored.
Yeah.
From Planet Zunev.
Or maybe they're like a Comic-Con fan that just didn't want to pay for the ticket, but they want to ask a question like, so Bruce, are you going to be doing another?
No, I had that guy buzz my house.
No shit.
You know the contraptions that have the parachute?
Yeah.
And that an engine moves you forward? Sunday morning, I'm having a cup of coffee. I hear, I look up. This thing's coming up my field, 200 feet above my house, goes directly over my house. This guy in this Leonardo da Vinci outfit. So I call the cops. I'm like, can people do that? The guy's just buzzing around. They go, yeah, as long as he's under 500 feet. I'm like, what? Because then you're into helicopter territory, and that's not good. But you can buzz somebody's house? Anyway, welcome to Oregon.
That is strange. Final question. What is the Bruce Campbell key to lollygagging?
Active inactivity. It's not consuming alcohol. They think lollygagging is a lazy activity. For some reason, they equate that with doing nothing. It's active inactivity. You have to hike to a nice spot and then take a picture of yourself doing nothing. But you got to get there.
Okay.
You can't just put your feet up in your living room because that's your everyday thing.
So hike, be active, take a beat.
And hiking is lollygagging.
And feel it.
Yes.
Okay. I like that. Bruce Campbell, first off, just always good talking to you, and also very excited to learn more about Hysteria and to see it as we hear more. And
we are both interested.
Yes. All right. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.